Welcome to our channel. Today we're going to dive into the depths of history to uncover the hidden secrets of the American Civil War. This monumental conflict, which divided a nation, is full of fascinating stories, brilliant military strategies, and unforgettable character. From iconic battles to political intrigue, we'll explore the events that shaped the destiny of the United States and better understand the war's lasting impact on modern society. Get ready for a journey back in time, where we'll reveal surprising and little-known details about one of the most tumultuous periods in American history. Join us as we unlock the secrets of the American Civil War. In the United States, the first national income tax was passed to pay for the war. During this period, the Gatling gun was invented, marking a transformation in combat. The shocking casualties of the battles of Bull Run and Wilson's Creek were just the beginning of a series of devastating conflicts. New questions arose. Would the North's strength be undermined by incompetence and low morale? Would England side with the South and its cotton? Who would control the Mississippi River? The nation, now divided into two, tore itself apart from an initial confrontation over a man-made island in Charleston Harbor. The war spread along a 1,000-mile line from Manassas, Virginia to Shanghai, Missouri, and beyond. By 1862, over 1 million men were massing for war. In a fierce struggle for Tennessee, people of Clarksville on the Cumberland River found themselves prisoners in their own homes. Even far from the battlefields, people in Deer Isle, Maine, suffered too, with sad news from places most of them had never heard of. By the end of the war, the little town of Winchester, Virginia, had changed hands 72 times. Sam Watkins, a Confederate soldier, would face his first major battle in April on the banks of the Tennessee. Elisha Hunt Rhodes, a clerk from Providence, Rhode Island, would celebrate his 20th birthday in a Union camp. Union General George McClellan, the idol of his troops, would form a mighty army and lead it south towards Richmond, where Robert E. Lee awaited. The struggle of today, Lincoln told Congress, is not altogether for today, it is for a vast future also. Now in its second year, the war was becoming a battle over the future of freedom. The war approaches. The American Civil War, fought from 1861 to 1865, was one of the most devastating conflicts in U.S. history. The war began with the secession of 7 southern states, which formed the Confederate States of America, following the election of Abraham Lincoln in 1860. These states were heavily dependent on a slave-based economy and feared that Lincoln, a Republican, would abolish slavery. Fort Sumter and the start of the conflict. The first shot of the Civil War was fired on April 12, 1861, when Confederate forces attacked Fort Sumter, a federal fort in Charleston Harbor, South Carolina. The battle lasted 2 days and resulted in the surrender of Union troops at the fort. This event marked the official start of the war and led to the secession of 4 more southern states. Early battles: Bull Run and Wilson's Creek. The first major battles of the war, Bull Run, or the First Battle of Manassas, in July 1861 and Wilson's Creek in August 1861, resulted in Confederate victories. These battles were a shock to the North, which had expected a quick and decisive victory. The heavy casualties and brutality of the fighting revealed that the war would be long and bloody. Confederate advances and Northern doubts. In early 1862, the South seemed to have the advantage. Confederate generals like Robert E. Lee, Thomas Stonewall Jackson, and J.E.B. Stuart proved to be brilliant strategists. Union forces, despite their superior numbers and resources, faced challenges due to incompetence and low morale. General George McClellan, commander of the Army of the Potomac, was popular among his troops, criticized for his excessive caution and hesitation to attack. The importance of the Mississippi. Controlling the Mississippi River was crucial for both sides. For the Union, controlling the river would split the Confederate States in half and cut off their supply line. For the South, maintaining control of the river meant keeping communication and vital supply routes open. The Vicksburg Campaign, led by Union General Ulysses S. Grant, was a series of maneuvers and battles that culminated in the siege and capture of Vicksburg, Mississippi, in July 1863. This victory was a significant turning point, giving the Union full control of the Mississippi River. Emancipation and the war's meaning. On January 1, 1863, President Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation, declaring that all slaves in the rebellious states were free. Although the proclamation did not abolish slavery in the border states that remained loyal to the Union, it changed the nature of the war. Now, the fight was not just to preserve the Union, but also to end slavery. This moral shift garnered additional support for the Union cause, both at home and abroad. The Battle of Gettysburg, fought from July 1 to July 3, 1863, was the largest battle of the Civil War and a crucial turning point. Confederate forces, led by Robert E. Lee, invaded the North but were repelled by Union forces commanded by General George Meade. This battle resulted in heavy casualties on both sides, with about 50,000 soldiers killed, wounded, or missing. The defeat at Gettysburg marked the end of Confederate offensives in the North and began to turn the tide in favor of the Union. Sherman and the March to the Sea. In 1864, General William Tecumseh Sherman led the Atlanta campaign and the subsequent March to the Sea. After capturing Atlanta in September, Sherman led his troops on a devastating march through Georgia, destroying infrastructure and Confederate resources along the way. This total war strategy aimed to break the South's will to fight and was successful in causing significant damage to the Confederate economy and morale. Siege of Petersburg and the fall of Richmond. From June 1864 to April 1865, Union forces under Ulysses S. Grant besieged the city of Petersburg, Virginia. This prolonged siege wore down Confederate forces and cut off their supply lines to the Confederate capital, Richmond. On April 2, 1865, after months of intense fighting, Union forces finally broke through Petersburg's defenses, leading to the evacuation and fall of Richmond. The surrender at Appomattox. On April 9, 1865, General Robert E. Lee, seeing that the situation was untenable, surrendered to General Ulysses S. Grant at Appomattox Courthouse, Virginia. This surrender effectively marked the end of the American Civil War. Grant offered generous terms to Lee and his troops, allowing them to return home with their personal possessions and horses, in an effort to promote national reconciliation. The war's impact. The American Civil War had a profound and lasting impact on the United States. An estimated 620,000 to 750,000 soldiers died, making it the bloodiest conflict in American history. Additionally, the war resulted in the abolition of slavery and the passage of the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments to the Constitution, which guaranteed freedom, citizenship, and voting rights to African Americans. Reconstruction and post-war challenges. After the war, the United States entered the Reconstruction period, which lasted from 1865 to 1877. This period was marked by efforts to reintegrate the Southern states into the Union and ensure civil rights for newly freed African Americans. However, Reconstruction faced significant resistance in the South, where groups like the Ku Klux Klan emerged to terrorize and suppress African Americans and their allies. Lasting legacy. The legacy of the American Civil War is complex and multifaceted. It not only preserved the Union and abolished slavery, but also left deep wounds that took decades to heal. Issues of race, civil rights, and equality continue to be debated and addressed in modern American society, showing that the echoes of the Civil War still resonate today. The American Civil War was a monumental struggle that shaped the future of the United States. From the bloody battles to the social and political transformations, this conflict redefined the nation and its commitment to freedom and equality. As we look back, it is crucial to remember the lessons of this war and continue to work towards a more just and united future. We hope you enjoyed our exploration of the American Civil War. This event shaped the USA, and its lessons still resonate today. Thank you for watching. If you found it interesting, like and share it. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications for more videos on history and curiosities. Leave your comments and suggestions. Thanks, and see you next time.